one thing that is missing, I want to say, in our community is the Kūpuna, Keiki, Kūpuna young adult relationship that some Keiki have and most don't have.
Yeah.
And that's something that if you do have your Kūpunas now and still with you,
Yeah.
you need to take advantage of the talking stories,
Yeah.
how they grew up or their lifestyle, because it was a whole nother world for them, and just to share that ike, you know, and show some interest to your Kūpuna, and then they're gonna start talking to you, and then you're gonna learn, and then engage, and then you now have that knowledge. So
Yeah.
that's something very important that you know, I understand from your point of view, and then I see nowadays, you know, no more.
Yeah. And that was one of our first ha'awina. Remember? So our first gathering with the Keiki, that was the main focus, was asking questions within the circle, finding out what we know already, and then going home and go ask those questions, and then find answers that we didn't know were there. Yeah. So important. Definitely.
Yeah. And another thing you pointed out is actually having connection with the meakanu. And once you know, I know some of the Keiki don't know about these things or don't recognize them, but once you know, or you take on a kid's class or you're part of a workshop, you should actually pay attention and look at these plants and get to know them. Like she said, this is plant people. You know, this is your ohana. This is, you know, plants that grew where you grew up. So you folks are connected. And I talking to you guys, but I talking to you guys over there.
Yeah.
And we have to get past the barrier for our keiki nowadays to actually pay attention. You know, I'm doing a lot of more kilo, so this is part of that. You know, looking in your yards, looking around this place where you guys, you know, come every week, and paying attention and really embedding how these plants look, but more importantly, what they can do for you, your family, and your community. So, mahalo for that. I just want to highlight some of those points you brought up.
Yeah, definitely. Mahalo.
And it's really important.
Yeah, it's also important, and such a beautiful opportunity to share with these Keiki. You know, one of the things I also tell them is that even just being able to sit here and have this conversation in itself is a huge blessing, because the Kūpuna that held these teachings, you know, and passed these teachings, they faced so much scrutiny and so much persecution for being who they were, for helping Kanaka as well as you know, others who were sick in times of need, and we don't have any idea why, because it was their medicines that was working and was healing people during the time of all of the introduced sicknesses that occurred. It was our laʻau, it was our medicines that we relied on, and were healing everyone. It wasn't the outsider's medicine that was working. So pretty ironic that they would then shun our Kūpuna and that ike, but that's what happened. And so we couldn't even sit here and freely have this conversation and talk about, you know, the uses or the relationships or any of this. So, you know, like we said, you guys, just to be able to sit here and share this and start to reclaim little by little any of this ike and put it into motion for future generations is a really big deal. And so mahalo for being here to help support that. Yeah.
Share with, you know, the keiki and the lehu, whoever will be viewing these videos and this mana'o to take the opportunity to start slow, start small. You know, you have a tea plant in your yard or near your hale, you know, start with something small. Drink tea every day.
Yeah.
You know, share it with your ohana, share it with your keiki, and then share the ike of it with your ohana and then your community. So the ike part of all of this mea kanu is the most important thing, to know how and what to do with these things, and that's what's gonna keep it alive and keep it going for generations. So pay attention.
Yeah. Yeah, that's why we're here. That's why we're sharing with you. Yeah, and like I speak of my Kūpuna, and I have to tell you that unfortunately, you know, there being over a handful of them that contributed to my learning and my strengths and my growth, they're all gone. Yeah. So even more so, you know, the time is now. Really, really pertinent, really important that you guys cling to these things if you feel peely to them. You know, we've planted the seeds of the relationship between even ourselves. Yeah, so let's keep those seeds nourished. That's my hope. Yeah, even if one of you becomes like my little pakana, yeah, and wants to follow through with this, like even just one of you, like I'm doing good. You know what I mean? And hopefully all of you want to come tag along with Anake and do this work. But you know, yeah.
So he leo mahalo kia ia o kou pakahi a pau no ka hui ana, no ka hoʻonanea pū ana me mākou, no ka hoʻoka ike, no ka hoʻolohe ana I ka ike Hawaii o kia makumu. Mahalo nui for all of you tuning in with us throughout these past days, and really, you know, engaging in the ike that has been shared from all these wonderful mentor and kumu of Maui, of Hawaii. He leo mahalo keia, again, mahalo to Kaehu, again, mahalo to all the people who shared and engaged with us in our Keiki and our community. And again, this is encouragement to all you folks to find that space in your own community to learn, to engage, to share, to create relationships with Aina and with people, and learn more and share more in the culture, in the Aina. And I'm so happy to be able to share with you folks today and throughout these past days. So mahalo piha ia o kou pakahi a pau o wau no o Kahaku riti kamara. Ma ka ehu a hui hou a launa pū hoʻokākou I ke kahila. A hui hou.